Welcome to Millbrook for some ALL East action between the Paris Riverwolves and the Peterborough Timbermen. Paris currently 3-6 on the season. They're 1-3 on the road. They've lost 3 straight. Right now, 6th place in the ALL East. Their last action, 11-10 loss to the Six Nations Snipers. And the Peterborough Timbermen, 0-9 on the season. Their last game was an 18-4 loss to Whitby at Children's Arena in Oshawa last weekend. And we are underway. I'm Dan Malta on the call as the Timbermen look to get their first win of the season. And they start off with possession. Some hard work right in front of the Riverwolves bench, and the team absolutely loving that, starting the turnover as they charge back up the floor. More scrumming going on. A very physical start to this one as the Timbermen, work their way up the floor. Held on to by Justin Bragg. He dishes it down low. A shot misses wide. Rebound picked up by the Timbermen. Chance in close. Chase Cosgrove covers that one up, stuck in his pads for a moment now. It's back the other way. Dawson Brown for the Riverwolves. He sends it into the middle. Chance there, stripped. Another chance for the Riverwolves. That shot saved by Ethan Woods. Here are the Riverwolves. Easy shot, handled by Woods. He assesses the situation and launches one up the floor for Arsenault. He can't quite corral that pass. Still with possession in deep. Timmerman setting up. They get their changes in. Riley Curtis kicks it out, spins back, sends it into the middle. Held up top. And taken down hard there was the Timberman player. A race for the ball back down the floor. Shot clock expires and a penalty on the play. Riley Curtis sends it in near side to McNutt. Fired back into the corner, a quick give and go. McNutt holding, sends it back up to the top of the house. Curtis sends it off. Shot saved and goes wide. Rebound recovered by the Timbermen. They get right back on the attack. Curtis to Riley Curtis. Cocks back, fires, misses wide. That's going to get to center and across. No, great. Nearly a great play as Riley Curtis took flight to try and avoid the over and back. Q dishes it down low. Now Brown. Dawson Brown sends it into the corner. Held on to by the Riverwolves as they back in. It's Hunter Agus. Spins off a check. Looks through into the seam. There's a chance saved by Woods. Bouncing ball picked up by the Timbermen, and they work the ball up the floor. Chapman dishes and heads off for a change. It's now Connor Curtis rolling the ball up to the top of the house. Nearly picked off by Q. Riley Curtis scoops it up. Sends it across. Played out of the corner. Back up top. McNutt cocking back. Firing. Just missing wide. Rebound picked up. Another chance for McNutt down low, but the ball still bouncing. He picks it up, and the shot clock expires. 40 seconds remain in the power play for the Timbermen as Brown works the ball across the floor for the Riverwolves. Dawson Brown content to just kill the clock here. Rolls off a check and just takes the ball down into the corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Brown drives, shoots, saved by Woods. He scoops it up, sends it near side to Bragg. Bounce pass ahead. Jackson has Bragg streaking. He'll just hold on and wait for the trailer. It's Riley Curtis directing traffic from the top of the house, pointing to Bragg to get the switch off. Offensive unit out. Back to even strength for the Timbermen. They get a shot. That's saved by Cosgrove. Trapped that one between the arm and the pads. Working the ball back up the floor now. It's Brandon Graham. Graham is a check right on his back. Spins away from that now. Rex through the seam. Shot from the Riverwolves. It's handled by Woods. Rebound scooped up and possession given to the Timbermen. They'll work the ball back up the floor. Arsenault streaking. Didn't get anything on that pass. Or didn't get anything on that rush. McAlpine holds and dishes down into the corner. Worked up top to Curtis. Overhand shot, deflects wide, rebound scooped up, and trying to score from in behind. That did not go in. The ball stuck in the pads of Chase Cosgrove. Bouncing ball and a chance for Connor Curtis in behind the play, but he's swarmed and sent down to the floor. And Cosgrove scoops the ball up for the Riverwolves and then lends it up for Lemire. Bounce pass across, scooped up by Curtis Mann, dished down low. Brought up to the top of the house, and that pass across for Noah Simonelli couldn't get picked up, and now a battle in the corner. Simonelli comes out with it, dishes it in behind. Great play from Ethan Woods to break up that pass. Simonelli with one more shot. Rebound scooped up by the Timbermen. They're down the floor with numbers. Bragg holding, shooting, saved by Cosgrove. Flashing the right arm out there and quickly back up the floor. It's Q. Just dropping his shoulder and driving, going for the underhand shot. It's blocked and heads into the corner. Ryan Pavic brings the ball back up top and then drives. Q working with some space. And trying to get the pass through to Pavic, but that's broken up. Bouncing ball in the corner, still on the floor. Scooped up by the Riverwolves, but the shot clock expires, and they'll turn it over to the Timbermen. 9:30 remaining in the first quarter here. We are scoreless between the Timbermen and Riverwolves. Curtis cuts in, quick shot, saved by Cosgrove. He's been sharp in between the pipes today. Good start for both goalies. Brought across center, Brown fires it in, drives the lane. It's kicked back up top for Lemire. He makes a move, drops it off, and not expecting that pass was Hunter Agus, but he's able to scoop the ball up still. His shot blocked. Driving is Arsenault. He's got speed and a lane to the net, posts up, and decides to wait for some support. Back against the grain is Arsenault. He's in the corner, awaiting the fresh legs on offense. He'll get off for a change now. Full offensive 5 out for the Timbermen. Nakamura dishes down low, drive, shot from the outside, they score. That's Jensen Walker. Opening the scoring for the Timbermen. Nakamura on the draw, wins it right back to Bragg, and he'll drive up the floor, dishes it off. Right back into the seam, and Nakamura can't get the shot off. That's Cole Hanrahan, rather, wearing number 16 for the Peterborough Timbermen. Up the floor, working the ball, it's Brandon Graham. Takes a couple checks and dishes it up top for Rex. He makes a move and then runs into a swarm of Timbermen. They try to chop him down. Shot goes wide. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Q to work with. He cuts into the middle, gets a shot at the net, but just wide. Ball still bouncing, and they got a reset on that, actually. So a false reset. We had a referee near side counting out loud, as the shot clock did expire there on the Riverwolves. McAlpine sends the ball into the corner. You see the Timbermen just driving after the dish. There's the shot block from the Riverwolves. 15 seconds on the shot clock now. Brought back up top. Aggressive offense for the Timbermen. McAlpine sends it through. 5 seconds to work with to get a shot off. Mays up top, launches a bouncer. That one misses wide. And the shot clock expires as McNutt scooped it up in the neutral zone. Riverwolves getting set here on offense. Lemire bounces it over towards the Timbermen bench. Working from up top. That pass is broken up by the Timbermen. The hard checking from Crow. It's Work back up top. Underhand shot saved by Woods. Now just trying to escape the zone are the Timberwolves, or the Timbermen. Dennis, shot saved by Cosgrove. Hard battle right in front of our broadcast position here as it's turned over by the Timbermen. Chapman gets around to check, dishes it down low to Bragg. Bragg works the ball back up top, waits for the return. Passes into the seam to Nakamura. He can't corral that one, and bouncing. It's scooped up by the Timbermen once again. Across for Nakamura. He scores! 2-0 Timberwolves on the rocket from the slot from Koichi Nakamura. So 6:13 to go in the first quarter. An excellent start to this one for the Peterborough Timbermen. And they're coming off of a really tough loss last weekend to Whitby. 18-4 was that one, and they were really never in that game. So great to see some urgency from the Timbermen to kick this one off. The Riverwolves as well bringing it. We'll see what they have in response. Off the draw, we got a false start as well. So it's the Timbermen with a free possession, I guess. Curtis sends it across, waiting far side. Held on to, shot misses wide, and goes up and out of play. Up the floor now, it's Brandon Graham. Dishes it down low. A shot from in close, misses wide. That's going to bounce all the way out of play. Timberman ball. Delay a game penalty going to Brandon Graham as he swatted the ball out of the stick of Riley Curtis. Colton McNutt gets things started for the Timbermen. Cole Hanrahan for McNutt. Work to the half wall, back to the top of the house. Stepping out is Curtis, looking for a lane. He's got one now, but dishes back off to Hanrahan. Back pass, shot from in close from White, and the rebound picked up by the Timbermen on the reset. Here are the Riverwolves. It's Q. Alex Q sends it down low, gets it right back. 30 seconds killed already for the Riverwolves. Really doing a good job of slowing things down here. Killing the clock as they fall down to the floor, and it's going to be scooped up by the Timbermen. Crow driving in transition. That shot blocked from Jamie McMahon. Ball bounces into the corner where it's scooped up by the Timbermen. They can set things up now. 15 seconds on the shot clock. A minute remaining in the power play. Curtis works it across, gets it right back. Approaching 5 seconds on the clock to shoot. They get one off. Hanrahan picks up his own rebound, but it's knocked away from him. And Cosgrove will launch the ball up to center where Q sends it across. And once again, the Riverwolves are just going to try and slow things down. It's Simonelli. Not getting any pressure, so he's happy to stand still and then drive it in behind as he gets some from Arsenault and Bragg. Arsenault harassing Simonelli. You have to do something soon with 5 on the clock. Gets a shot off and bouncing ball. It's picked up by nobody. Still loose on the floor. Hard fought ball. Won by the Timbermen. 3 seconds on the power play. We're back to even strength. Bragg finds Curtis. Curtis works off the pick from Bragg and then sends it through the seam. Shot from McAlpine is blocked. They pick up the rebound across for Curtis. He gets back across. The quick stick saved by Cosgrove. .30 to work with on the shot clock. Carried out by Curtis. Finds a pass through. There's a shot missing wide. Scooped up by the Riverwolves, bouncing to center. That was played by the Riverwolves, but over and back called nonetheless. Lemire right through the seam, picked up by the Riverwolves. Lemire driving, working down low. Q on the doorstep gets sent down to the floor by Crow. Hard check breaks up that opportunity. Goddard for Q. Another save from Ethan Woods. The Timberman bench loving that save. Chapman sent down to the floor. Bouncing ball gets up top. Lemire sends it across. The ball worked down to the corner. Q waiting for something to develop in behind. He just working with his body, and a hard pick from Ryan Pavic. Ball given to the Timbermen. Quickly up the floor. 2:20 remaining in the opening quarter. Here's Connor Curtis. Dancing away from a check. He's got a lane. That shot blocked by Brown. And now a race back down the floor. It's Dylan Goddard in all alone. Saved by Ethan Woods. Bouncing ball picked up, and that's going to be Timberman ball. Here's Bragg. Sends it across for Nakamura. He's in the middle, back pass. An illegal screen, and back the other way come the Riverwolves. Here's Brown. Dishes, creates some space for Rex. Rex dances off a check and does the same. Now it's Brown looking through the seam, picked off, and now in all alone. It's an opportunity for the Timbermen. They missed just wide. There's Bryce Dennis on the breakaway after that interception. Simonelli holds the ball for the Riverwolves, checked closely by Walker. He'll just drive, back pass, misses and goes into the corner. Pavic sends the ball in behind. That bounces out of possession, but it's quickly picked up. Another bouncing ball with 8 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Pavic holding, firing, saved by Woods. Rebound, bounces wide of the net. Up top now, what you can call a fresh possession for the Riverwolves. Lemire drives in, takes a hard check, spins off of it, and keeps going towards the net. In behind now, tries to wrap that one around, but can't reach the front of the net. Great stick work there from Jackson to avoid those checks as he gains the line. Now dropped off for Curtis. 40 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Curtis sends it in behind. Just a positional save from Chase Cosgrove there. Didn't even know what was going on, but he caught that wraparound attempt. Working it in are the Riverwolves. Hard shot from up top, handled by Woods. Fresh 30 with 15 to go in the quarter. Back up the floor now, the Timbermen. They've got 10 seconds to work with. It's Curtis. Sends it in towards the net. Bounce shot misses. That's going to go back across. One last shot maybe for Q. No, he can't scoop it up. And that'll do it for the opening quarter. The Peterborough Timbermen up 2-0 over the Paris Riverwolves. Peterborough Timbermen lead the Paris Riverwolves 2-0 as the second quarter is about to get underway here in Millbrook. Some ALL East action between the 0-9 Timbermen and the 3-6 Riverwolves. Bryce Dennis takes the pass from his goalie, Ethan Woods, and sends it down the floor. Now Nakamura scored the second goal in this one, sends it up for Smith. Braden Smith fires it across. Connor Curtis works it in. Now picked up by Riley Curtis. His shot misses wide. Working down the floor quickly is Q. Elects to shoot. Bouncing ball nearly beat Ethan Woods, but it's scooped up by the Timbermen. Sent up the floor to Arsenault, and the Timbermen are going to be on a power play here. They get the extra runner on the floor as Woods heads to the bench. McAlpine holding it at the top of the house, bounces it across. Riley Curtis. Back to McAlpine. There's a shot through, saved by Cosgrove, and rebound scooped up by the Riverwolves. The Timbermen will head to another power play. Lots of conversations going on the floor amongst the Timbermen players. Riley Curtis directing traffic, gets things started for the Timbermen. Work down low for Hanrahan, who opened the scoring this afternoon. Back up. Backpedaling is Curtis through the seam. Shot from White, saved by Cosgrove. Rebound picked up by the Timbermen with a fresh 30. Up top once again. Riley Curtis, that shot catching the post, reset, but it bounces up and out of play. Hanrahan. Backhand pass from Curtis, shot from an off angle by McNutt. Rebound bouncing around, Curtis scoops it up, another fresh 30. A minute 20 remaining in the power play. Curtis works off the screen of McNutt, that shot catches the post, resets the clock, but it's picked up by Cosgrove. McMahon strides across center, gains the line, and then posts up, dishes to the bench, and heads off for a change. Solid first minute on the power play for the Timbermen. Few resets as it's Q. Decides just to shoot that one. Bouncing ball nearly scooped up by Hunter Agus as he continues to work down low. Now the Timbermen will get it across center once again. Bragg with some urgency up the floor. Dishes to McNutt. He scores. Colton McNutt makes it 3-0 Timbermen on a power play goal. 36 remaining in that power play when they bulge the twine.
Peterborough Timberman power play goal scored.
Q and Nakamura on the draw. Nakamura scoops that one back for Justin Bragg. Bragg to Curtis. Curtis looking through. It's McAlpine. Curtis down low. McAlpine gets the pass through the seam, works in for a shot. That's saved, and the rebound goes all the way down the floor, right into the stick of Q. He gets a shot off. Great save from Ethan Woods. Hustling back to scoop up the rebound was John Crow, and back the other way come the Timbermen. Scott Arsenault. A bouncer and a change. It's McAlpine. Down into the corner. He drives through, causing some problems as he gets in front. Carried out by Curtis. Back for McAlpine. Up to the top of the house. Connor Curtis spins off the check. It's a shot on net, reset, but the rebound, well, there is no rebound as the ball went right into the equipment of Chase Cosgrove. Cosgrove to Pincombe. He's got Chapman checking him closely. That pass missing. Now a foot race into the corner. Jackson didn't know there was a player curling in behind Woods, but Ethan Woods steps out of his crease to play the ball. Interference called on the play as another power play is coming up for the Timbermen. A chance to continue to build momentum here, as Ethan Woods has been up to the task so far, and the Timbermen have been putting the pressure on the Riverwolves. Well, it's a 5-on-3, actually. Oh, now one referee is saying 5-on-4. The other said 5-on-3. Okay, 5-on-3 it is. Hanrahan Back pass. Gets it right back through the seam. Curtis down low for McAlpine. Spins, fires. Fresh 30 on the clock, and they'll scoop up the rebound. Curtis directs some traffic, sends it across the seam. Keegan White couldn't scoop up that pass, hand or hand. Back pass for White down low, saved by Cosgrove. Bounces it to Agus. He's got some pressure right away from Chapman. He'll just have to launch it down the floor. And the Timbermen will bring it back the other way. Justin Bragg works it across and gives it to Riley Curtis. Work back down low for McAlpine. Curtis holding across, hand or hand, cocking it back pass White down low. Trying to get that one across to McNutt for the quick stick, but nothing doing on that play, and the Riverwolves get a chance to kill off a little bit more time. Sent in behind the net. Ball bouncing. Picked up by the Riverwolves. It's Rex. Trying to create some space, just backing into a couple of checks. Crow can't strip the ball from Rex. Keeps working it up top. And the shot, they score! Just a floater from Josh Rex. Catches Ethan Woods off guard. And the shorthanded goal makes it 3-1. And that's got to be a momentum sapper for the Timbermen.
Paris power play goals. Nope, Paris short.
As Alex Q and Kochi Nakamura get set on the draw. A real battle in there as it's picked up by Bragg. Takes a chop from Q in the process. White up top for Hannerhan, works it down low. Riley Curtis for Hannerhan, shot, picks up his own rebound. No, it bounces away from him. Riley Curtis, he's just going to work it in on his own. Across, looking for a quick shot from Hannerhan. Back to even strength in 2 seconds here. One last chance to get a shot through, and it's scooped up by Cosgrove. A couple of Riverwolves streaking down low. Lemire rolls it through. Backhand shot over the shoulder is saved by Ethan Woods. Lemire working in behind, sends it up top for Agus. The word settle being shouted from the Timberman bench as there's a shot bouncing. Bounced right across the goal line as Ethan Woods didn't know where it was.
Scored by number 77, Josh Rex. Assisted
John
by
Crow
number 55,
steps back over the line, over and back called, and the Riverwolves are right back on the attack. Nolan Ruddy switches hands, checked closely as the Timbermen apply pressure. Shot from up top. Woods, like a hungry hippo, scoops the ball back. Launched down the floor. Cosgrove grabs it and dishes it to Aiden Pincombe. He hustles it down the floor. That pass just missing. But still picked up by Lemire. He works it to the top of the house. Work down low now. Q spinning away from a check, gets a shot off, gets his own rebound. Fresh 30, tries to wrap that one in from in behind. Got a slashing call coming up here. And the Riverwolves will get a chance on the power play. It's Tristan Jackson in the box.
Throw penalty to number 23, Tristan Jackson, 2 minutes for slashing.
Lemire works a give and go, then down low. Ruddy fakes a pass and perhaps made too many moves as it Bounced off the leg of Lemire. Now back pass finds Dennis. Dennis in all alone. Fake shoots. Saved by Cosgrove. Kicks the rebound all the way up out of play. That'll be Timberman ball. 7:35 to go in the half. A minute 40 in the penalty kill for the Timbermen. Nakamura squats low, takes the pass. Dishes and drives. But it's just held on to by the Timbermen as they kill the clock. Smith gets away from a check. He's got Bradshaw with him. Works it far side to Curtis. Riley Curtis dips down low. Running in behind. Tries to fire one towards the net to get a reset, but it misses. And it's going to be carried out by the Riverwolves. With speed, it's Graham passing it through to Agus. That's saved by Woods. Here's Arsenault. Sent down to the floor, but the Timbermen still able to escape the zone. Dennis has 20 seconds on the clock. Now 45 in the kill. We'll just hold on to it. Sent in behind. Bragg tries to drive one home. He scores. What a beauty from Justin Bragg. Short-handed goal, one-handed, jamming it home from in behind the net. So the Timbermen counter the short-handed goal from the Riverwolves with one of their own, making it 4-1.
For Timberman, short-handed goal scored by number 4, Justin Bragg. Assists on the play to 43, Todd Chapman, and 42, Bryce Dennis. That's Bragg from
Both
Chapman.
teams getting reset here.
Okay.
As Nakamura hooks that ball out of the circle. And just keeps on digging with Spear, but Spear sends him down to the ground. And Timbermen come out with possession. And we'll resume the action here momentarily. (4-1) the score as the Peterborough Timbermen lead the Paris Riverwolves. Timbermen shorthanded for another 28 seconds here with 6:20 to go in the opening half. Ball bounces into the corner where it's played by White. He's digging away on the floor, stolen away from him by Hunter Agus. One last opportunity on the power play for the Riverwolves. Work down low. Up to the top of the house. That pass through, missing. Still picked up as they get another shot. Woods handles that one. And in the process, a penalty called against the Timbermen. Tristan Jackson going back to the box. So back-to-back penalty kills for the Timbermen. Putting themselves in a tough position with 5:47 to go in a great half for them.
Penalty to number 23, Tristan Jackson, 5 minutes for a check from behind.
And 5 minutes is the penalty to Tristan Jackson for a check from behind. So essentially shorthanded the rest of the half here are the Timbermen. Lemire works the give and go. Across for Ruddy. That shot goes back. They're calling a reset as well as it. I thought so. Yeah, that caught Ethan Woods. Things move real fast on the floor. So the referee is getting together for a conversation on this one. And it will be Riverwolves ball with a fresh 30. And all the time in the world to work with here. Lemire sends it down low. Simonelli can't corral that pass, and Ethan Woods is going to try and float one down. It rolls out of his stick and goes right out of play. Ruddy, quick on the ball, shot off the post. As that bounces up for Q. Here's Lemire. Just waiting for things to settle down. Ruddy to Lemire. Ruddy through the seam. That pass just in and out of the stick there. Now it's back up top for Lemire. Down low for Ruddy. He drives, saved by Woods. All right, and it's Timberman ball. Dennis floats it down to Bradshaw. Use his legs to kill some time here. Bradshaw for Riley Curtis. Checked closely by Q. Now Braden Smith. Spins off the check of Agus. Drops his shoulder and drives. Steps in the crease in the process. Would have been pretty if he pulled it off. Alex Q floats one down the floor for Brandon Graham. 4:25 to go in the half. 3:36 to go in the power play. Lemire winds, passes. Simonelli streaking, couldn't collect the pass. Now Rex picks up the bouncing ball. Shot saved by Woods. He assesses and passes a short one to Bragg. Bragg has Curtis in low. He scores. Another shorty for the Timbermen. It's 5-1. Heads-up play from Justin Bragg as he had his eyes up floor right away. And Riley Curtis coming off the bench just drove the lane, scooped it and scored. The last 3 goals in this one have all been shorthanded. 2 of them for the Timbermen. And off the draw, it's going to be Riverwolves ball. Agus scoops it for Lemire. Lemire, top of the house, letting his team set up. Bounce to Lemire. He's checked closely by Bragg. Simonelli works up to the top. He switches off with Lemire. Lemire for Ruddy. His shot off the post and out of play. It'll remain Riverwolves ball. Nolan Ruddy to Lemire. Still working off one another. Lemire winds. That shot blocked. It's Bragg. Floats it across for Dennis in all alone. Saved by Cosgrove. Another offensive strike while shorthanded for the Timbermen. Here's Lemire working from the top of the house once again. This time they go with a quick shot. Saved by Woods. Rebound picked up by Simonelli. He works it in behind. Quickly in front. Another save by Ethan Woods. Simonelli scoops the rebound up for Lemire. Ruddy. Lemire. Shot misses wide. Bouncing ball gets back near the Riverwolves bench. Simonelli right on it. Saved by Woods once again. Rebound scooped up by Ruddy. Fresh 30. Lemire. And the pass through from Simonelli missing. It's Dylan Goddard getting harassed down low by Arsenault. Timberman trying to get it loose. Now Simonelli jumps up, grabs the ball. Tries to get away from a check. That shot blocked. And driving on the doorstep was Lemire. He runs into Woods. But it's Timberman ball now. Crow runs into some traffic. Sends it up for Bragg. 1:20 remaining in the kill now for the Timbermen. They've done a great job so far. 2 minutes remaining in the half. McAlpine skips and steps back. Gets away from the check and then keeps on driving it in behind where he's eventually pinned. Kills off the 30-second shot clock and back the other way come the Riverwolves. Pincombe sends it off for Simonelli. Now it's Pavic. Simonelli. Lemire holding. Ruddy, he's got a close shot. That's saved by Woods. The ball comes to center. And it's Dennis with a beauty move. Now he's driving using his feet. Great hustle there from Lemire to break up that attempt from Dennis. And now back the other way with 30 seconds remaining in the power play. They get one. A floater underhand from Brandon Graham. And the Riverwolves are back on the board 5-2. I think you'd have to chalk that up to a successful penalty kill no matter what for the Timbermen. Still shorthanded for another 24 seconds. If they can kill off the remaining 24 seconds, they'll come out of this penalty kill with a net neutral score. Here's Graham trying to get another one. Works off the check of Arsenault. Sends it into the corner for Simonelli. Across. Held. Down low off the post. A reset, and we are back to even strength. Stewart hustling into the action. Runs past the bouncing ball. Now Rex has it in front of the Riverwolves bench. 35 seconds to go in the half. Bouncing ball scooped up by the Riverwolves. That shot missing wide. And back up the floor. It's Chapman. Timeout called on the play. The final 24 seconds of action in the half coming up. Final 24 seconds of play in the opening half here. Timbermen up 5-2 over the Riverwolves. Extra runner on the floor for the Timbermen as they're going to hold off until they get down to a few seconds on the clock before they try and get a shot off here. McNutt sends it down low. And now things start moving. Curtis sends it down low as everyone was spinning around. Sent down the floor and time expires. Nothing doing there in the final 24. And we'll head to the half with the Peterborough Timbermen up 5-2 over the Paris Riverwolves. About to get underway here for the second half of action between the Peterborough Timbermen and Paris Riverwolves. The Timbermen up 5-2 at the half. They'll try and keep things rolling to grab their first win of the season, currently sitting at 0-9. While the Riverwolves are 3-6. Both teams coming off of losses, obvious for the Timbermen. Scored twice shorthanded in this one. Got goals from Cole Hanrahan, Colton McNutt, Kochi Nakamura, Riley Curtis, and Justin Bragg as they've been spreading the offense around. The Riverwolves have Josh Rex getting them up on the board as they keep pushing down low. It's Q. Yes, Josh Rex and Brandon Graham, the two goal scorers for the Riverwolves. I'm Dan Malta here on the call in Millbrook. Simonelli works off a screen and gets fired down to the floor from Crow and keeps pushing. Checking Q closely. Q's able to spin away and find Simonelli out front. He scores. Noah Simonelli gets the Riverwolves back within 2. Obviously not the start the Timbermen wanted for the second half. You can see a wave of electricity go through the Riverwolves bench after that goal. Scrambled draw, still bouncing around. Both teams battling hard for this one. Eventually coming out with it is Brandon Graham. He's stripped of the ball by Dennis, but keeps on it. Now Bragg rolls it up the floor to Riley Curtis. He's being chased by Brown. Just kick it back to Bragg. Bragg with some space to work with. Dishes it back down low for Riley Curtis. He cuts it out front and sends it far side to Nakamura. Nakamura on the pick and roll, but Bradshaw couldn't handle the pass. Here's Brown rushing up the floor for the Riverwolves. Power play coming up for the Riverwolves as well. A penalty at the far end. Lemire down low, extra runner on the floor. Simonelli, underhand shot handled by Woods. And that will get the power play started for the Paris Riverwolves. Aaron Bradshaw heading to the box. A rampant pace to the first half. We'll see if that continues in the second.
Penalty to number 10, Aaron Bradshaw, 2 minutes for delay a game.
There's
That's
Lemire.
Bradshaw,
Delay a game, the call on Bradshaw. The Riverwolves working it around the outside. Ruddy. It's through the seam. Rex shot saved by Woods, and he scoops up the ball. Launches it down the floor looking for Bragg, just missing him, but the ball still bouncing around down in the Riverwolves zone. There's Rex. Picking the ball up and dishing to Simonelli. Simonelli up top for Lemire as Q struts off the floor and grabs a change. Lemire for Simonelli. That pass missing, but Simonelli good on the ball, picks it up. Worked up top. 5 on the shot clock. Ruddy from distance. That one misses wide and bounces back across center. And behind the play, Bryce Dennis took a spill. Looks to be in some discomfort for the Timbermen. Riley Curtis gets things started in deep. 1:05 to go on the kill for the Timbermen. Worked up top, McAlpine. Runs through, sets a pick. It's hand. Winding, faking, shooting from an off angle. It's handled by Cosgrove and quickly brought up the floor by the Riverwolves. It's Q. Alex Q awaiting support, dishes it up top. Here's Lemire. Stepping in, back for Ruddy, across the seam to Q. Into the low corner, back up top. Lemire, cross for Ruddy. That bounces wide, and now a chance in front for Agus. Saved by Woods. Woods using his eyes to try and tell Walker to cut. That pass misses. Here's Brown. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Brown from the top of the house finds Ruddy. Ruddy works it down low, and a shot from Graham saved by Woods. Back to even strength now. Woods has to get it up the floor. Finds Bedlington. Bragg for Smith. Smith can't corral that one. Races onto the ball in the corner. It's Riverwolves' ball with speed up the floor. Graham trying to set things up, but hard on the check was White. And now it's Chapman with Simonelli on his back. Can't get a shot off. Simonelli steps across center, dishes it off and drives as the Riverwolves work it around. A battle in deep. As the ball bounces towards the net. Dennis and Arsenault working on defense. And the shot clock is going to expire. And the Timbermen bring it back. Riley Curtis fires. That one misses wide, and it's going to bounce all the way back down the floor. And it's Riverwolves' ball. Dawson Brown checked hard in the corner by Walker. Steps around the crease, sends it through. Shot missing, going out of play, so Ethan Woods picks it up. Cross center, Dennis. Finds Bragg down low, up top. It's Connor Curtis. He sends it across. Working off the pick. Shot saved by Cosgrove. Bouncing ball. Still loses it. Approaches center, and it's Q. Getting around the check of Smith. Hanging at the top of the house, takes a shot. And Arsenault first on it. He's pinned up against the boards. And it's going to be possession Timbermen. Bragg fires it in deep to Connor Curtis. Curtis waiting for something to develop. Up top for McNutt. McNutt fakes and drives. Thinks twice and works it back up top. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Hannerhan from range. Gets it on net. Bouncing ball picked up by the Timbermen. Full 30 to work with. They slow things down. Here's McNutt assessing. Working it up top. Hannerhan from distance. Once again saved by Cosgrove. And once again a fresh 30 for the Timbermen. Possession awarded to the Riverwolves. On a penalty. Yes. No, not a penalty. Oh, wait. Yes. Okay. Some confusion on the floor. Braden Smith is going to the box. Didn't catch the call on the play. So another power play for the Riverwolves. However, the Timbermen have scored twice shorthanded in this one. Lemire. From the top, it's picked off. Dennis driving from the outside, jumps, shoots, saved by Cosgrove. Roughing the call on Braden Smith. 30 seconds already gone from the power play for the Riverwolves. Simonelli, shot blocked. Goes into the corner where the ball is won by Justin Bragg. Bragg sends it through, a chance, and they score. Another shorty. It's Tristan Jackson this time. The third shorthanded goal of the game for the Peterborough Timbermen. Still a minute 16 for them to kill. And 7:43 remaining in the third quarter. Possession picked up by the Riverwolves after the draw. And they'll get things set up here. Brown works it up top for Simonelli. He takes a look behind his back and then dishes it back down low. Pavic to Simonelli. Long range shot from Ruddy goes in. There's the power play marker for Nolan Ruddy. And the Riverwolves have answered back. (6-4) now in Millbrook. Nakamura and Q on the draw.
First goal scored by number 4.
Possession still being fought over, and it's going to be Bragg somehow coming out with the ball. He finds Curtis. Riley Curtis cuts in, dishes it down low to Bragg, spins off a check down low. Nearly buried that one. Great save from Chase Cosgrove. Curtis working hard to try and not let Brandon Graham across center. And the effort pays off. We'll be right back with more action. The Timbermen back underway here in Millbrook. 6-4 the score, 6:50 to go in the third quarter of play. The Timbermen up on the Riverwolves. Timbermen working it around. Mays looks up top to McAlpine. He fires a pass to Hannerhan, spins off a check, underhand shot, misses wide. Riley Curtis there to scoop up the loose ball. He fires one towards the net. It's Bradshaw trying to get the pass. He couldn't grab it. McMahon fires the pass down low for Q. Somehow too tall for the big man. Chapman drives up the floor. Curtis across for Bradshaw. Bradshaw pulls it back to McAlpine. Across, Curtis had the top corner peg. Great save by Cosgrove. Curtis picks up his own rebound, holds it in behind. Bounces it up top for McAlpine. Curtis through to Bradshaw. Off the check, that shot blocked. Bouncing ball and numbers up the floor for the Riverwolves. It's Q in all alone. He shoots down low, saved by Woods. Dawson Brown awaits the offensive unit for the Riverwolves as they try and get back within one here. It's a shot smothered by Woods and a penalty coming up here against the Riverwolves, I believe. No, against the Timbermen. It is Tristan Jackson in the box for the third time this afternoon. And the Riverwolves are back to the power play. Nope. Jackson sent back out of the box. The Riverwolves on the power play. It's Ruddy to Lemire. Lemire takes a hard check. Good pressure from Bragg to break up that opportunity. And a hard check from Crow as he keeps on digging. Now Lemire drives in. Back on the ball is Crow. Great hustle there from Peterborough's number 11. A long-range pass attempt from Ethan Woods. Catches the speaker here and then bounces back, and the Riverwolves score. My apologies, I had my eyes on the other side of the floor. I assumed it would have been a dead ball as it caught the speaker or the light. And the refs are going to have a conversation about this one.
Dead ball. Dead ball foul.
And we'll wait a decision here. It looks like it's going to be a goal, yeah. 6-5 is the score. As you hear Joe Sullivan from the Timberman bench saying, hey, it went off a light bulb. He's not wrong. 6-5 now. Power play goal for the Riverwolves, and they answer again. 6-6 is the score. That's Brandon Graham getting on the board again. Ethan Woods over at his bench having a chat with the coaching staff before returning to his crease. And the momentum has certainly swung in favor of the Paris Riverwolves. Q works the ball forward on the draw. It's stripped away from him. Cross center, it's Dennis. Finds Riley Curtis. Curtis finds hand streaking, saved by Cosgrove. He looks up the floor. Nearly picked off by Curtis as Brown brings the ball across center. Checked tightly by Curtis. Gets right on top of Simonelli now and breaks up that pass. Curtis goes streaking and the ball's turned over once again. Brown works it down low, saved by Woods. Huge save there from Woods to keep this one from getting out of control in the momentum department. Arsenault. To Smith. Braden Smith down low. It's picked up by Mays. He launches one from range. Bounces wide. 5 seconds on the clock to get something done here. A battle in behind. And it's Riverwolves' ball. Pincombe floats it across and heads off for a change as Lemire sets things up for Paris. Up top to Rex. Rex for Ruddy. Ruddy, underhand, one-handed pass down low. Lemire, jump shot, misses and goes up and out of play. That will be Timberman ball. Bounced out across center, now Dennis. Finds McAlpine. McAlpine leaves it for Riley Curtis. He drives it in deep, strong side, and looks back up top for Connor. Connor Curtis to Riley Curtis. Just pulls up and fires. Saved by Cosgrove. Rebound goes into the corner. Fresh 30 to work with here for the Timbermen as Nakamura is pinned down low. Tries to find somebody or an outlet, but it bounces free and the Riverwolves have it. Sent in deep by Paris. Chance down low by Simonelli. Up to the task was Ethan Woods. Nearly stripped away as Woods is juggling the ball pretty good. Interference called on Simonelli. Back to the power play now. Go the Timbermen. As the game hangs in the balance. Tied at 6-6. 2:30 to go in the third quarter. Riley Curtis directing traffic from up top as he gets things started.
First penalty. 27.
Hand to Curtis as they start spinning it around. Curtis drops down low, bouncer off the post. Fresh 30, a minute 46 on the power play for the Timbermen. Riley Curtis sends it down low, hand facing some pressure, finds Curtis. Curtis has an open lane, shoots. Bounces out of play off the shot. Another 30. It's Curtis. Hand looking for the shot. Finds Curtis. Back pass to McNutt. Sidearm shot. Misses. 15 seconds on the clock. McNutt. Up top to Curtis. Hand. Off angle shot. Cosgrove just swallows that one up. Now Brown works back up the floor. He's checked closely by Connor Curtis. Minute to go in the power play for the Timbermen. Underhand shot misses wide on the rebound. It's Q. A shorty for the Riverwolves. Makes it 7-6. That was Alex Q with the heads-up play right on the doorstep. And the third quarter has not gone well so far for the Timbermen after a great first half. Five runners on the floor for the Riverwolves. They had 6. Down to 4 now. As the Peterborough Timbermen are still on the power play for another 55 seconds. Scramble draw. And Brown comes out with it.
Dylan Goddard. That's Q from Goddard.
Possession given to the Timbermen. Here's Riley Curtis. Fakes the pass to McNutt. Curtis fires. Deflected up and out of play. A reset for the Timbermen. 40 seconds on the power play. Curtis from up top. He's got Connor Curtis near side. Up top for Hannerhan as things open up. Fakes, drives, shoots, and scores. A beauty on the power play from Cole Hannerhan, his second of the game. Everyone on defense took a bite out of that fake from Hannerhan like it was a sandwich. He just drives around and scores.
Pro Timberman goal scored on the power play by number 16, Cole Hanrahan. Assists on the play to number 6, Riley
Q
Curtis.
nearly escapes the draw with the ball, but swatted away from him. Now Curtis. Drives. That shot misses wide. The ball bounces up and out of play. 44 seconds remain here in the third quarter. Ball carried across center by Rex. He fires it in deep, drives towards the net, creates some space. Shot from an off angle, saved. And the rebound is scooped up by the Riverwolves without a stick now. Was Chapman trying to knock that ball loose. He's recovered his stick. Pavic holds, 15 seconds remain. Fresh shot clock. They'll get the extra runner on the floor. Possession given to the Timbermen. They got to get a shot off quick with the empty net. Some confusion around the Timberman bench. It will be Timberman ball. Crow with 10 seconds in the quarter. To Chapman. He drives it up the floor. He's got Arsenault with him. 3 seconds to go, and doesn't look like they're going to get a shot off here as the ball bounces around. Tied at sevens after 3 quarters. Fourth quarter coming up next between the Timbermen and Riverwolves. About to get set in Millbrook. It's the fourth quarter between the Paris Riverwolves and the Peterborough Timbermen, all tied up at 7 apiece. Been a great game so far. Has had a little bit of everything. Fast pace. And back with the pace is Justin Bragg. He sends it across for Curtis. Saved by Cosgrove. Goes up and out of play. Fresh 30 to work with for the Timbermen. McAlpine down low for Curtis. I'm Dan Malta on the call here from Millbrook. Nakamura down low with a shot. That's saved by Cosgrove. And a lot of pressure on the Timbermen here as they're trying to get their first win of the season. Have to think that would be huge for them. You can tell in the effort they're giving, they want it bad. Hannerhan spins off a check, runs into his own player. Assessing, sends it up top to White. White passes it down low. Curtis with a shot, rebound picked up. They're back on the board. From in tight, it's Keegan White getting the lead back for the Timbermen. Third quarter, not the best start for the Timbermen as the Riverwolves controlled things. Fourth quarter, starting off on a different note. Nakamura on the draw, wins it back, but it's broken up by the Riverwolves. They'll gain center. Q. Darts across, passes it back towards his own bench. That was the first goal as a Timberman for Keegan White. Battle in behind. Riverwolves ball, fresh 30. Held on to by Goddard. Works it up top, Lemire for Simonelli. Simonelli across for Ruddy, fakes a shot, steps into the middle. That one off the post and out of play, so another 30 seconds on the shot clock for the Riverwolves. Ruddy. Underhander from distance, saved by Woods. He'll just stay as still as possible so the ball doesn't squeak through, waits for the whistle, and now back up the floor come the Timbermen. It's Chapman grabbing a change after he dished to Dennis. Nakamura working down low, broken up as I don't believe Dennis was the intended target on that pass. Q quickly in. Huge hit there from Dennis as Brandon Graham was bounced around like a pinball trying to get a shot off. Things ramping up now as Dennis and Pavic are going at it in front of the Riverwolves bench. There's Q in there to break things up. So this is going to be a Timberman penalty or power play when it's all said and done. In the box is Ryan Pavic. See what the Timbermen have in store on the power play. Connor Curtis. Working it around, distributing from the top of the house. Handerhan rolls it down into the corner, into the slot. Curtis with a shot. Saved, but the rebound scooped up. Curtis switches off with Riley Curtis. Held at the top of the house, back pass. Work down low. Connor Curtis for McNutt. That shot winged towards the net, but blocked. Curtis once again. Gets one through. There's a fresh 30. Bouncing ball scooped up by Handerhan. Handerhan works a couple give and goes, waits for something to develop. Driving in is McNutt, creating some space. Now down low, it's White. He spins and loses control. Picked up by the Timbermen. They get a shot off and reset the clock. But here's Q stepping around to check. He's got a lane to the net. Fakes, drives, and that shot saved by Woods. Shorthanded goal has played a huge factor in this game so far as Agus is pinned down low. 25 seconds to go in the power play for the Timbermen. And they come out with the ball. It's Riley Curtis. They've got numbers up the floor. Still action going on back down in the Timberman zone. Curtis. 10 seconds on the power play. He finds Handerhan. Works it in deep. Spins back. Fires that shot. Saved by Cosgrove. Back the other way with speed are the Riverwolves. Back to even strength. Driving and right out of the box and into the back of the net. It's Ryan Pavic. No. Called in the crease. Here's Dennis. Being told to settle things down by the bench. Connor Curtis. It's going to be an illegal pick. Now sent up the floor. The Riverwolves looking to answer back here. You can see the intensity really ramping up as we approach the final 10 minutes. Shot off the post. Rebound picked up by Ruddy. He carries it out, shoots, saved by Woods. And a late hit will mean Riverwolves ball. Sent in, and there's Crow driving in, breaking things up. Too many men called on the play. I'm just trying to count the players right now to see which team that was against the Riverwolves. Massive opportunity here for the Timbermen. Up 8-7. The clock is at zeros right now. So they're going to try and sort that out. I believe we're around 10 minutes and 5 seconds. So it's pretty specific, but I'm pretty sure that's where we were. The Timbermen, of course, would be more than happy if we were at zeros right now. And the conversation continues. It's been a pretty exciting game so far as the Timbermen drove themselves out to a pretty strong lead, 3-0 off the top of the game. The Riverwolves kept on answering back. It's been punch and counterpunch the duration of the game here in Millbrook. We've got 10:15 on the clock.
Number 21, Aiden Pinko.
It's pretty close. Connor Curtis gets things started on the power play, dishing to Riley Curtis. Curtis to Curtis. Across to Handerhan. Back up top it goes to Connor Curtis. He fires it across to Cole Handerhan. 10 seconds on the shot clock now. Curtis from the top of the house fires one in. Good placement on that shot as it was scooped up quickly by Riley. Fake pass by Riley Curtis. Now finds Connor. Couple of jukes, fired from the side and bounced wide and out of play. Egg is facing some pressure from Hanrahan. Keeps on driving though, gains the line, kills off some time on the kill. Lemire. He's got 13 seconds to work with here on the shot clock. Gets away from the check of Hanrahan. This keeps on running to space. Eventually fires a bouncer. That goes out of play. 58 seconds on the power play. 9:12 to go in the quarter. 8-7 the score as the Timbermen lead the Riverwolves. Striding down the floor is Connor Curtis. He dishes it in and drives. McNutt working the top of the house, and Riley Curtis took his eye off the ball for a moment. The ball bounces off his stick and goes out of play. You could feel his frustration on that one. Brandon Graham holding. Fires it across the zone to Dylan Goddard. He'll just drive it in deep. Arsenault checking him. Goddard gets away. Arsenault trying to strip the ball loose, but Goddard doing a great job on the PK. Now a shot from Rex. That one bounces wide. Woods looks up floor. He's got Dennis streaking, broken up by Q, still bouncing in the direction of the Timbermen. Here's Dennis, about to be back to 5-on-5 here in Millbrook. We are now. The Timbermen set up in the offensive zone. Dennis from up top, fire, saved by Cosgrove. Bouncing ball scooped up by Cosgrove, and he fires it down the floor. That pass a little bit errant. Now a race into the corner. It's Curtis is bumped off the ball, but there in support was his goalie, Ethan Woods. Connor Curtis has Q checking him. Finds the lane to Riley Curtis. McNutt to Curtis with space. Sidearm shot saved by Cosgrove. Cosgrove looking up the floor. Intercepted on the doorstep by Aaron Bradshaw. He makes it 9-7 Timbermen. Great play there from Aaron Bradshaw, just harassing Chase Cosgrove, scoops up the ball on the interception and just puts it right in the back of the net. The 2-goal lead with 7:37 to go in the fourth quarter for the Peterborough Timbermen. Nakamura wins the draw and finds Bragg streaking. Bragg streaks away from a check and finds McAlpine. Good hustle there from the Timberman captain. McAlpine fires it down low to Curtis. Curtis makes a move towards the net, goes back into the corner. Works it back into the slot. Smith to McAlpine. That shot hits Nakamura in the leg. Just a few seconds to work with on the shot clock. McAlpine sends it in deep. Curtis gets a shot off. Takes a hard check. You can see him wind up to retaliate, but he thought better of it, and he's in some distress on the floor. We'll let them take a look at this injury for Riley Curtis. He looks to be in a good amount of pain. We'll come back with 7 minutes to play. 9-7 the score. Timbermen over Riverwolves. See Riley Curtis stretching out his leg there after getting up off the floor, and the Timbermen are stepping onto a power play with 7:02 to go here in the fourth quarter. 9-7 the score once again. Sure, the Timbermen will miss the presence of Riley Curtis on the power play, as the ball seems to run through him. McNutt for Bradshaw, who made it 9-7, holds the ball at the top of the house. McNutt to Bradshaw. White creates some space. Now Hanrahan trying to catch a pick, gets up top, shot saved by Cosgrove. Here's McMahon. Sends it across. Held on to by Lemire. He's facing some pressure from Hanrahan. Worked down low, saved and smothered by Ethan Woods. Woods quickly up the floor to Crow. He's got hand down low. Crow lets some changes happen and then dishes and heads off on his own. Riley Curtis back on the floor. McNutt to Curtis. Curtis fakes, shoots, bouncer, scores. Power play goal for the Peterborough Timbermen makes it 10-7, 5:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. I think it's broken down into a shift at a time game now for the Peterborough Timbermen as they try and take home this one. Bradshaw drives it in deep, holds and bounces it up to McAlpine. You could hear the call, use it, from Ethan Woods. Got to believe he's referring to the shot clock to kill some time. Quickly sent up the floor by Chase Cosgrove. It's Agus getting away from Lagana. Trots back to center and fires a pass across to Ryan Pavic. Pavic had a goal called back after stepping in the crease earlier in the quarter. Shot from range. That catch is Bedlington right in the ear. He keeps moving. Here's Dennis across center as we cross the 5-minute mark remaining in the fourth quarter. Dennis works it up top to Mays. Dennis now driving, fires wide, bounces up top, picked up by Riley Curtis. Back to Dennis up top, carries it under, shoots. Stepping in the crease there was Nakamura as the Riverwolves drive up the floor. Q with some space, bouncer misses wide and goes out of play. I'm going to say it caught the goalie. It'll be Riverwolves' ball. 4:41 to go here. Lemire drags it under. Backhand pass and flying through the air, somehow getting a shot towards the net off was Dylan Goddard, but nothing doing. Now Arsenault is forcing the ball to center. Still loose. It's eventually picked up by Brandon Graham. Graham holding, letting the offense set up for the Riverwolves. It's Pavic. Launches it across to Ruddy. He steps into the middle of the floor, facing some checks from Crow. Crow not giving him any space to work with. That shot misses well wide. And quickly back up the floor is Bragg. Bragg with some space. He'll slow it down and drop it back for White. Less than 4 minutes remain. 3-goal lead for the Timbermen. White to Bragg. Bragg kicks it to the side. Creates some space for Curtis. Curtis uses it, but then drives back into the corner. Brown pressuring him. Curtis to Bradshaw. Works off the pick and shoots. That one got past Cosgrove, but just wide of the net. Here's Pincombe now. Striding up the floor. Broken up by Bedlington. Possession awarded to the Riverwolves. Sent up for Ruddy. Ready, pressured, just backing it in. Backing it in where the ball is eventually stripped loose, but Ruddy recovers it. Knocked loose once again. Pretty intense battle going on there. I believe the clock was stalled for a few seconds, which the home team cannot love. Trying to figure out the clock once again here. Justin Bragg runs onto the floor. The Timbermen making a few changes. John Crow stepping back into the fray as well. pretty steady game in terms of it being tight the entire time. This is the biggest a lead has been in this one, 3 goals. 3:29, 20 seconds erased from what the clock read. Here's Ruddy. Illegal pick, and now it's the Timbermen. Another chance to kill off a little bit more time, an inch towards their first win of the season. Q pressuring Dennis up top. Dennis fires it into space. It's Riley Curtis. Driving it down low, firing. That shot misses wide and bounces back to center. It's Q scooping it up. He's got Hanrahan right on top of him. Shot on net. Rebound bounces out. Picked up by the Timbermen. Here's White. Takes the pass from Curtis and returns it immediately. Less than 3 minutes to go. Hanrahan. Towards the bench, it's Riley Curtis now driving it in. Cuts into the middle. He's got a lane. That bouncer misses and goes out of play. Cosgrove to Brown. It's Dawson Brown. Floats it over Bragg and finds Dylan Goddard. Goddard across. A hard shot from Ryan Pavic. Misses the mark and goes all the way back down the floor. Great break for the Timbermen. 2:24 to go in this one. Bragg for McAlpine. McAlpine working off the pick from Smith and sends it across to Smith. Smith with some space, ducks in, ducks back out. Sends it into the corner. Now McAlpine, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Bragg. Bragg drops it off. McNutt with a shot that catches Cosgrove. Cosgrove bounces it up, picked off by Arsenault. Arsenault driving and interference called on Bradshaw. So with 1:53 to go in this one, and the Timbermen with a 3-goal lead, they will be shorthanded here. Real test now for both teams. The Riverwolves trying to avoid a 4-game losing streak.
2 minutes for interference.
And the Timbermen trying to pick up their first win, as I've mentioned a handful of times here. It's Ruddy. Up top, works to give and go. Hit the spin cycle in the slot and work it back up top. Ruddy fires it across through the seam. Goddard, bouncer saved by Woods. And he looks up floor. Long pass finds Dennis. Dennis settling things down. The entire Timberwolves bench, or Timbermen bench, pardon me, shouting, settle. Now the Riverwolves. It's Brown. Final minute of play in regulation.
Last minute of play in the 4th quarter.
Here's Lemire, working it back and forth with Simonelli. Simonelli winds it up towards the net. What a save with the left foot. It's Ethan Woods stretching across and closing the door. Lemire. Back to Ruddy. He drives, another save from Woods. The ball bounces into the corner. It's Goddard. Looks into the middle. Rex bounces one in and scores. That'll send things back to even strength. 31 seconds remaining. 10-8 the score. It was the second goal of the game from Josh Rex, and the Riverwolves starting off on the draw with the goalie pulled as Chase Cosgrove has headed off to the bench. A big draw here for Koichi Nakamura. And it bounces towards the Timberwolves bench. A battle for that one. It was pure chaos there. Timberwolves, or Timbermen, call the power play. I apologize for the amount of times I've caught Timberwolves coming out of my mouth here. Final 24 seconds of regulation. The Peterborough Timbermen up 10-8 over the Paris Riverwolves. Justin Bragg's going to start with the ball, get pinned and escape. He's got an empty net as well. If he can get a shot off, he's just going to try and run into space. Bragg driven down to the floor. 11 seconds remain. Bouncing ball still loose. Race on to this one. 5 seconds to go. Sent down the floor. Lemire on the doorstep. Can't bury that one. A penalty call with 1.6 seconds to go. And I'm pretty certain we can say that the Peterborough Timbermen are going to escape with their first win of the season. 1.6 seconds on the clock. Up by 2. And there it is. The Peterborough Timbermen enter the win column. A 10-8 victory over the Paris Riverwolves. Great game from Millbrook. We'll see you next time.